can one live in this world, in the modern world, without belonging to any group, to any nationality, to any religion, following no guru. Can you do all this? Or is it all a superficial talk? And when you leave this hall, you will follow your old ways. What's the point of all this then? Listening to something that is true, that's not invented by a speaker, but these are facts, daily facts of our life. Our cruelty, our self-concern, our deep, apparently abiding selfishness. And that is what is destroying the world. The Americans are concerned with America, and the Americans, as in separate human beings, are concerned with themselves, as here, and so on. So one begins to understand, not verbally but very deeply, that where there is division, there must be conflict. Where there is division nationally, there must be conflict. The Muslim and the Hindu, the Pakistanis and all the rest of that rubbish that is going on. And when you face facts, the realities, not just some imaginative, romantic concept, but you face daily facts, then you are confronted with a challenge that demands an answer, a challenge that you must accept and understand it and act. So there is only security, not in self-centered, self-interest, but in seeing the fact and understanding the fact and acting. That is intelligence. And in that intelligence there is security, not in some romantic concepts, sentimentality, and all that superficial stuff. So, we also ought to ask, why is there so much corruption in the world? I know this is a rather tricky subject. Why is there so much corruption in the world? What is corruption? The word, the etymological meaning of that word from Latin and Greek and Italian comes, which means to break up. Romp. I won't go into all that. What is the root of corruption? Where does corruption begin? Passing money under the table, is that corruption? Bribing the porter to have your entrance to the big man? What is corruption? Which is so prevalent, more so in this country. Pulling wires for your friends, for your nephews, for your sons. Is that corruption? Well, please think about, look at it. Surely that's a very, very superficial form of corruption. But it's a deeper cause, far deeper cause, this terrible corruption that's going on. Is it corruption when you follow a leader? Go on, answer these questions, sir. When you follow your guru, is that not corruption? In the name of truth, in the name of blah blah and all that stuff. When you follow somebody, or when you follow some ideal, is that not also corruption? Are you surprised at these questions? Or you take it, We're trying to find out together what's the cause of all this. Is not corruption when each one of us is ambitious, envious? When each one is concerned with his own fulfillment? When he wants his own particular way? When human beings take a stand about something? You understand all this? I believe. And you take a position in that. Another says, I also believe quite the opposite. Right? Is that not also corruption? You see, you can't. So does not corruption start when each one of us is not only concerned with himself, but also deeply attached to some superstitious, ideological, imaginative belief? No? Isn't that the beginning of corruption? The Catholic believes very strongly in something, right? In some concept, in some belief, in some faith. And you take another stand in some faith, in some belief, in some God, and you are at war with each other. Not actually at war, but you kind of separate yourself from that silliness, as though your silliness was totally different. Haven't you noticed all this? Doesn't corruption begin there? Doesn't corruption begin where there is essentially, deeply self-interest? Skip it, sir. Leave it, sir, will you? Hey, leave it, sir. He doesn't listen, and you don't listen either.